British Stand. We do have some breaking news for you this morning, this time in Stratford, as an incident has occurred that has left 3 people with stab wounds. Police have arrested an individual, and we are going to be going through currently what we know around this situation. But yet again, another incident within this country that's involved knives, and this time 3 people have been stabbed. As always, guys, we will break it down and go through what we know, but hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and get involved in the live chat. I'll be taking your reaction on this one towards the back end of today's stream. So currently what we know so far is that 3 people have been stabbed and another person injured after an incident in Stratford Broadway in the early hours of Friday morning. A Met Police statement has said officers attended the scene alongside the London ambulance service. 4 men sustained injuries requiring hospital treatment. 3 men, aged 22, 32 and 36, were believed to have stab wounds. Their injuries have all been assessed as non-life-threatening and non-life-changing. A 4th man, aged 26, was believed to have an injury to his jaw. His condition has also been assessed as non-life-threatening and non-life-changing. 1 person has currently been arrested so far, with further urgent inquiries currently ongoing. Now, in terms of the scene itself, the road is shut in both directions near Stratford bus station between A118 Great Eastern Road and A112 Tramway Avenue. Several buses have been rerouted in the area, and the University of East London buses warned its students that there is very heavy traffic currently in the area. So, as stated, ladies and gentlemen, 4 people have currently been taken to hospital. The London ambulance service has confirmed. They said in their statement, "We sent resources to the scene, including ambulance crews, an incident response officer, a clinical team manager, and a paramedic from our tactical response unit. We also dispatched a trauma team from London's air ambulance, which consisted of a doctor and a paramedic in a car. Our first paramedics arrived on the scene in less than 4 minutes. We treated 4 patients and took them to hospital." So an incident that of course has occurred in London that has left 3 individuals with stab wounds. Now, whilst it is still fairly early in terms of the full scope of the picture, police or it's being reported currently in the English media that it does seem as though it was a brawl as such. So again, an incident that's happened outside in the early hours of the morning. And a brawl has erupted, but an individual, of course, has brought a knife and stabbed 3 individuals there on the scene. So yeah, truly shocking incident that's, of course, happened in Stratford. And actually, I only just got that updated statement with regard to it earlier on today. Again, this news broke around, or the first slight bit of information came out around an hour ago, and the initial reports that we had was just that there was a triple stabbing. That had been reported, but there wasn't any update from the police at that moment in time. However, as I've just gone live now here, I've started to see a police statement, because it was also saying earlier on that 4 arrests had been made and the police were appealing for witnesses. However, the police have just come out and corrected that statement and stated that there's only been 1 arrest so far at this moment in time. So again, still an ongoing story, but as you can see there, the scenes in Stratford, and it does seem as though this incident occurred in the early hours of Friday morning, but the news has just got to us now, and of course roads still remain closed after 3 individuals were stabbed. Okay, so I'm not, as I said, there's no incident, of course, where you're happy, but initially when I seen this and I seen triple stabbing, I thought something may have occurred, like a thingy, but as you're starting to read in between the lines here, it does look like there was a brawl that erupted, and as I said, absolutely shocking that someone's bringing a tool on a night out anyway, in terms of a blade, and just bringing on a night out, or whatever he's doing. But the brawl erupted on the streets in the early hours, so we don't know if this is gang related, we don't know if this is random, we don't know if this is just a falling out in the bar, but regardless, it's absolutely shocking that someone's cutting about with a knife and then stabbing people, even if it was said just a falling out or even gang-related situations. It's still something that's just contributing to this stabbing epidemic in this country, and something again that's just seen 3 people stabbed, and thankfully the individuals currently at the time of recording aren't said to be life-threatening or life-changing, which is good, so minor stabbing injuries, but still, regardless, someone just cutting around with a knife. And again, it's just time and time again, and it's only the stories where it's mass amounts of people that actually get reported and hit the front page news, like this one is starting to now as we wake up in the United Kingdom. However, there's just so many more knife and stabbing incidents that are happening throughout the UK on a day-to-day basis, especially London. But still, no action is being currently taken at this moment in time. Guys, as always, I'm going to be taking some of your reaction, so do get involved in the live chat and let's have a little look at what people are saying. Ivan has donated £2 and says, brawl or not, it'll be connected to migration in my opinion. Again, we don't currently know the people. They only just released the ages of the victims, so some in the 20s, some in the 30s of the people that were attacked in this situation. But Ivan, of course, saying it's probably connected to immigration. And again, I can't necessarily disagree with you on that factor. But thank you so much for your donation. Charlie says, I'm scared for my son in this country. Fact. None of us are safe anymore. Well, again, it's something that happens every single day. I'm always starting the day, and I don't really like to start the day reporting on incidents that are occurring across the country. Yesterday, of course, it was an incident in Munich, but most of the last week, within the UK, there's always something to report on, usually something to do with stabbings. Sheffield, it was armed police responses to apartments of people having guns. Other one was that crazy maniac in Lewisham, who held up people for 17 hours with the police standoff. So there's always something major every single day that's happening across the country. That's, quite frankly, something that shouldn't just be happening. It shouldn't be happening on a day-to-day basis in this country. But it is. There's always something. And this is probably the main story as such of today. But if you look back at the incidents that probably happened last night within the UK, you'd probably find there's quite a few stabbings that actually happened. And again, I'm not telling you that as a fact, but type something in stabbing in a city into Google, and you'll likely see most other incidents come up in your Google search. I mean, put stabbing in London. Most of this stuff isn't front page news, but something that happens very, 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 very often. But as I said, this is Sadiq Khan's city, remember? Sir Sadiq Khan, the man's been knighted for his good service to the city. He's on his 3rd term currently as the mayor of the city, and he doesn't take any responsibility with regard to the city. That's the situation that is at hand, and we always reward failure in this country, but something really needs to change. Not just London, but London's probably the worst affected place for it, but the country as a whole. But as stated, as we say in every single live stream, remember, it's Amazon's fault at this moment in time. Spawn says knife crime has been a big issue in the UK cities for well over 3 decades. It's only the last few years that the majority has been paying attention to the issue. Yeah, I mean, there's always been incidents that have happened, and maybe you're right. Maybe it's something situation where the way that we're feeling a lot more connected now, we're starting to see a lot more of these situations happen because we all have social media. So every single incident you kind of see come up on X or on Facebook or whatever you're on, you'll start to hear about it. So maybe that is the case. But I do feel, again, this is not fact, but it's certainly my opinion. And you may be right that maybe it's because of sort of social media, you're paying attention to it more. But I do feel that this sort of crime is going up a lot more. I would like to see a correlation chart and actually have a little look at the stats behind it. And certainly we could have a conversation about it going forward. Ivan donates another £2. Thank you, Ivan. Says diversity is our strength. Thank you. Mr. Fixit says, so another 3 stabbed in Stratford, yet the Newham record state that Stratford is the top place to visit in London. I don't like Stratford at all, to be fair. I've been there a couple of times, had to go watch West Ham play a couple of times, and I don't like the area. I don't like the area whatsoever. Well, they've got Westfield over there, but I don't like round there, to be fair. Not too bad. Well, it's pretty. I don't like it. I keep away from Stratford. Well, anyway, guys, on that note, as I said, that's kind of all the information we have got currently at this time, at the time of recording. Just to conclude, a triple stabbing happening in Stratford. Police have arrested 1 individual, 3 people currently injured, not said to be life-changing or life-threatening, and a further other person injured. 1 arrest as stated, but they are looking for a lot more witnesses. They're looking for more people to see what happened. But anyway,